Currently in Nashville, especially in 2020 with the inventory being down, it's a really competitive market for buyers. I feel like at least half of the deals that I get into are multiple offer. As an agent, I'm always trying to give my buyers some kind of advantage. And so when we look at an offer, it's like, how clean can we make the offer? Are you fortunate enough to be paying in cash, no contingencies? And of course, one of the major contingencies is, if it's not financing, is an inspection. And so some people are like, man, should we just buy it as is? And I think in 95% of the time, I personally would never recommend that. Like, don't do that. That's actually probably the one thing you don't want to skip on. It feels like it's one of the biggest opportunities you have to clarify your emotional and financial investment that you're about to move forward with. And even in a competitive market, I try to always leave it on the table.
You know, you and I are both professionals. I mean, real estate is a professional business. But when you have home buyers come in, I mean, even people who are professional in other areas in the real estate business, they're not professionals. So trying to educate someone that, you know, it really comes down to risk. You know, what risk are you willing to take on? When you decide to forego a home inspection, you're potentially taking on a huge risk. I mean, there could be $15,000, $20,000 worth of repairs needed to be done, which makes this house, you know, no longer affordable. Especially if you're spending in today's competitive market, you're spending at the top end of your budget. It's scary.
I've done a few where, you know, people buy houses that are sold as is, but they get an inspection anyway.
Yeah.
Like, just because they're not going to allow you to fix, they're not going to offer to make any fixes, they're being upfront, like, we're not, you know, that's their prerogative as a seller in a high demand market. Like, hey, we know it's an older house, I'm not messing with it. It's baked into the list price maybe, but you should still get it so you know.
Yeah, and what's funny is that even though it says as is, there's still negotiations that can be done. And I think that's what a savvy realtor is going to tell their clients. It's like, listen, they're listening as is. You know, that actually probably reduces, you know, the competitiveness of the house, which is a good thing. Let's go ahead and get a home inspection. And once you have a home inspection, if there's a major red flag in there, you know, chances are, I mean, they're going to have to deal with that on the next buyer.
Right.
And at that point, you're not going to really be competitive anyway.
That's true. I think it's something that a lot of buyers don't understand, their own leverage. Because once you get that far, you know, if there is a red flag and you're like, man, we might walk, it's not in the seller's best interest to have you walk, because then they got to deal with it with a new person. And they're already 2 weeks down the line with you. It gives buyers a little power when they may not have had it at the initial offer stage.